Hello again, everyone. It's time for another Dryden Theater streaming recommendation. I am Jared Case, curator of film exhibitions at the Dryden Theater and the George Eastman Museum. And what do we mean by streaming? Well, these are films that are available through a service. You don't have to pay an additional charge to watch any of these films because they're part of the package that you subscribe to. So whether it's Amazon or Netflix or the Criterion Channel, these are all films that are available on that service. This is different from renting films. There's a wider variety of films that are available for rental, whether it's on Vudu or on Amazon or iTunes. But these, each time you watch it, you have to pay a fee just for that film. So when we're talking about streaming recommendations, we're talking about films available on one of those four services primarily that you may already have a subscription to. So, our recommendation for today is 1959's Some Like It Hot, directed by Billy Wilder. And that is a name that you will probably hear a few more times in the upcoming weeks. Of course, this is the classic comedy starring Marilyn Monroe, Tony Curtis, and Jack Lemmon. We showed this as part of our New Year's Eve film in 2017. So just over 2 years ago, we showed this in the Dryden Theater, and that's why we're bringing it to you today. This is, of course, the classic comedy about two men who witnessed the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, Chicago 1929, and the only way that they can escape, these musicians, is to join an all-female band by going in drag and following them down to Florida. Of course, the gangsters pursue them, and they get into much trouble, not to mention their own trouble that they get into just dressing as women and what they're feeling inside and how they cope with it. But a classic comedy. What I really liked on this most recent rewatch was looking at the script and how tightly constructed it was. Each event followed the other in a way that seemed like there was no other way it could happen. Both Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis started out as musicians, and they were about to get paid, but they couldn't get paid because the bar is raided, and after they raid, they have to go find a job, but they can't find a job except for the one that's available, so they take that one and see the execution, and it goes on and on from there. Everything builds and builds and builds, and it's such a well constructed and tightly constructed screenplay that it works so well in the whole. Not to mention all of those hilarious moments that you get. Marilyn Monroe was possibly never better than she was in this film. Tony Curtis with his Cary Grant imitation, and Jack Lemmon with his not very feminine femininity, which played really well off of the Tony Curtis character as he was portraying his woman as very sort of demure and shy. It's a wonderful comedy. It's streaming on both Amazon Prime and on the Criterion Channel. There's lots of extras if you have the Criterion Channel to go and look at as well. So, Some Like It Hot. That's our recommendation for today. We'll see you again tomorrow.